So in this video, I want you to watch it all the way through. There's a lot to learn, a lot of lessons to be learned. And I want you to just think about this question I'm about to ask you. Would you trade the stock market differently if you had a daughter that need chemo? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your boy Shades. The market, as expected, is just going to go sideways here. We're just waiting on that April 2nd tariffs. And people want me to talk about KULR stocks. I'm going to talk about it here. But I just want to say one thing. One of my Discord members, for some reason, he's been in here for months and he just doesn't listen. And I've told him time and time again, stop buying at the top. He always buys at the top. So if you sold your KULR shares yesterday, he literally was your liquidity. You should thank him. Thank you for being, thank you for being my my exit. Oh, and he bought around earnings. I don't understand that. You don't want to take the 50-50 gamble, but let's see how earnings is going to go. I'm excited to see what kind of reaction we get. More than likely we drop. That's always been the case with this one. If it wants to surprise me and pump, cool, but it's always been a drop. If we look at the previous earnings, it either goes nowhere or it just drops. So it's just kind of like, don't expect much unless it's going to surprise us for once. But that is rare. That is absolutely rare. So yeah, I was telling this guy, I'm like, hey, you should not have bought yesterday. That doesn't make sense. Like, you just bought at the top. And he's like, oh, but you're expert. I'm going to sell it. I'm not going to sell it now unless it tanks another 20%. Like, buddy. Like buddy, you've been in here. You're paying $50 a month just to buy the top. That doesn't make sense. You're not listening to me. That's what that means. And he also bought Rigetti at the top and SoundHound at the top. Like, the most obvious top here. This top is so obvious. Like, that's how obvious it is. And he still, after months of being in the Discord, he doesn't listen. And he's like, oh, it's not a big deal. And so this is a lesson. This is a lesson. I don't know why he literally bought Rigetti at the top here. And SoundHound. Like, and I told him, I'm like, hey, you're buying some good companies, but why did you buy at the top? That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, that's just silly. So don't do that, guys. That's why you wait for the purple line. We're waiting for under 130 is what I'm waiting for. 130 and under. But I'm going to wait until after earnings to even make a play anyways. And there's the threat of this cross under. The last time we got a cross under, as you can see, it happened here. And we dropped from 204 to 107. And then we got a cross over. So cross under, we dropped a whole dollar basically. Cross over, we pumped, 80% from lows? About 80%. Meanwhile, this guy was like, oh, wow, 107, screw that, I'm buying up here. And then he immediately started making excuses. Like, oh, it's no big deal. It is a big deal because if you're going to be trading for 10 years plus, if you're actually going to be in this as a side job or side hustle or whatever, that adds up. Every trade you enter at the top, that adds up over the long term. Okay, you miss out on making $200 on every one of these trades because you bought at the top. Meanwhile, we buy nice and cheap down here under 130. It pumps back to where your average is at. You're barely in the green or at break even. We're making money, and so you're missing out on, let's just say, $500 on every trade. Over the course of 10 years, you're missing out on like $50K. Like, it adds up because your buys are suboptimal. And so you're only really hurting yourself. And $50K is no joke. Sure, it's just $200 Shades. It's just $500. No. Over the course of 10 years, that's $50K, if not more. Because as your account gets bigger, when we buy down here nice and cheap and it pumps 30-50%, we're going to make hella money. You're over here like, oh, I hope it comes back up for me. Like, you're just doing yourself a disservice. So learn from this guy's mistakes. This guy always makes mistakes, and he's like the perfect... not the perfect puppet. I guess the perfect... no, not the perfect puppet. What's the word I'm looking for here? He's the perfect guinea pig for learning from. Like, you look at the mistakes he makes and you go, okay, don't do that. So, at least he should have waited. Like, come on, man. I don't get it. He bought every single stock that was at the top yesterday, and I'm like, huh? That's not what I teach at all. That's not. I didn't teach you that. I taught you to wait and buy nice and cheap. So pat yourself on the back if you can. If you're already doing better than him. If you didn't buy up here, like you should not. You should not have. You know the strategy is to wait for the 200 and buy at it or under. And at this point, we're waiting for the April tariffs, April 2nd, Liberation Day or whatever, and we're waiting for earnings post-market today as well. So, yeah, just a little lesson there, because this guy, I mean, you're paying $50 a month just to not even listen to me, just to buy your own stock just to buy stock at the top. That's ridiculous. Thank you, I guess, for being the sucker. You're the people that people make fun of, that go, hey, I don't know who buys at the top. What kind of idiot does that? Well, you are the one, Seb Luke. So you got to stop, man. You got to stop. All you've shown me is that you have not learned anything. That's like, it's been months, bro. You should not be doing this. You should not be buying tops. All right, that aside, that out of the way. I'm waiting for KULR after earnings. See how it moves. If it drops, I'm looking for $1 to 130. I'm looking for a reaction around there. I want to see buyers step in, and that's where we'll jump in. If you guys did pay attention to the market recently, we rallied, right? We had a bit of a rally, and a lot of stocks were moving 10, 20, 30%, 50%. Some moved 80%. And that was just a pullback in the bear market, right? Because we get these pullbacks in the bear market. We get these pullbacks. We dumped, pullback. So in these pullbacks, there's money to be made. You can make like 25 to 100%. Just imagine what's going to happen in a bull run. In a bull run, this is going to go back to $3 plus. My target is $3. I think we would need a catalyst for us to go back to 5, the top. And I know some of you are definitely backed up there, but yeah. So let's see how it goes with earnings. I don't expect much. I've already looked at the revenues and everything, and I'm like, eh. Let's see if they surprise us, and for once we get a big earnings pump. But it's just doubtful. It's just doubtful. And remember, a lot of stocks had good earnings recently. Or Nvidia had good earnings. Mara stock, Riot stock, HIM stock, like a bunch of stocks had really good earnings. They beat expectations, and they still sold off anyways. So even if it does have good earnings, it doesn't mean anything. We could still drop regardless. So just keep that in mind. If just in case because some of you are going to be surprised if it does do that. If it has good earnings and it just drops anyways, some of you are going to be like, I don't understand. What? I don't either, but that's why I don't play earnings. So just let it do what it's going to do, and we'll position ourselves accordingly. Nothing has changed. It's still the same strategy. Not much we can do in a bear market. We can't force trades every single day. There are people right now just forcing trades. You can't be doing that. That's just silly. Especially if you're going long, you're just fighting all the selling pressure unnecessarily. You got to be patient and wait for the optimal conditions, and we're not there just yet. Subluk, for all intents and purposes, he bought the top here. He's not even a breakout trader. He's not a breakout trader. So he just bought up here like unnecessarily. Like he was, if you sold yesterday, congrats. You one of my Discord members is a sucker enough to buy at the top. That's funny to me. And he's not a breakout trader. He's not. So, like, there's no strategy behind his buys. And I told him, I'm like, you need to have a buy strategy. You can't just, like, throw money around. You're just doing yourself a disservice long term. It might not seem like a big deal. Oh, shit, I'm only going to miss out on, like, a couple $100. Bro, over 10 years, that's, like, that could be upwards of 100K. Especially the bigger your account gets. That's if he's even successful. We'll see. He can be successful. Anyone can. If I can do it, anyone can. But when you're making little mistakes, like very obvious top here across the markets, these obvious mistakes, that it's like you're just, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, this is, we're here to make money and not make these mistakes. These amateur, like, this is 101, man. This is 101. I could teach my sister this, and she's 12. And she would even know that's at the top, and she would not buy. Like, it's just so obvious. That's it. I guess I'm just a little, like, disappointed in him. Like, bro, just when I hype you up, you do the stupidest, like, literally every time I hype him up, like, hey, watch out, this guy can be successful. Oh, he just does the stupidest thing ever. I don't know why that is. Like, why would you even? You're not a breakout trader either, and this wouldn't even be a good breakout opportunity. Anyone who's playing breakouts or day trading, like, look at this. The past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. For 9 days, we had 3 green candles and 6 red ones. So it's not even in optimal conditions to be breakout trading. Anyone day trading is just silly unless they're shorting. But if they're going long, they're just idiots. They're just complete morons at that point. They're just hurting themselves. And this is just something I've noticed as I get more Discord members. I've noticed like some people are just they're just complete idiots. It's just sad. It's like, huh? Do you not understand? Like, there's real money on the line. Why are you just trading so suboptimally? Like, if you were a boxer, would you just I'm not going to train. I'm just going to go in and whatever happens. Well, you're going to get your ass kicked because you're going to go up against someone that did put in the work. And that's just how it is. And you don't want the market to be kicking your ass because you lose real money because real money's on the line. So I just don't get that mentality. But let's see. I've come across some interesting personalities here in the Discord. The most successful guy in my Discord right now is the Indian guy who has a daughter who she has to get like chemo, and it's not cheap, and they work as nurses, and they're very grateful, and they're never leaving the Discord because they just follow me into Nvidia and Riot stock, and they're just waiting for the next big pump, and they're going to make a lot of money. They continue to make money, and that makes paying for the chemo, it's on the market's dime. It's no longer out of their pockets, which makes the financial stress lessened more than anything. So those of you who work in healthcare, you might know, more what I'm talking about there. So that's that. He's the most successful, and I think the reason he's the most successful is because he's not fueled by greed. He's fueled by his motivation is it's his daughter, and taking care of her healthcare needs, and making things just easier financially by using the markets to multiply their income and make life easier for them and their daughter. Like, that's his motivation. And sometimes I wonder, and he's successful. Like, I've talked to him, he's having a lot of success, and he's never leaving the Discord. And he's invited me to New York. He's like, hey, if you're in New York, a lot of you are from New York apparently, but and I'm not from New York. I've never been to New York. I'm not from New York or anything like that. But this guy's told me, like, hey, if you ever come to New York, dinner's on me, man. I'll buy you anything. And I'm like, I'll let you know if I ever go down there. But if I go to New York, apparently a lot of you are from New York, so I guess I'm going to be hanging out with a lot of people at that point. But yeah, so like, he's very grateful, and he's as far as I know, he's been the most successful compared to everyone else, and it's really just a motivation factor. His motivation is it's his daughter. He's not fueled by greed. And so, I want you to take this video as a lesson and ask yourself, what are you fueled by? Are you fueled by greed? It's okay to want money, but are you just like so fueled by greed that you just take unnecessary trades or force trades when you shouldn't, or buy breakouts when it doesn't even make sense? Like I don't know why anyone would play the breakout here or buy here. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I think this Sebluke guy, he's still fueled by greed, and until that goes away, until he starts actually putting in the work, which he clearly does not want to put in the work, he's just kind of pretending like he wants to put in the work, but he doesn't even listen to me. So it's interesting to see like two sides of two different sides of the. It's not even the same coin. It's different coins. They're just two completely different people. One making poor decisions, one motivated by something other than greed, and that's helping them push forward and succeed in the markets by following my alerts and listening to me and asking questions and learning. So if you guys are from New York, I mean, I maybe one day I'll come down there or up there. I don't know why I said down there. I just thought of Florida, I guess. I'll come up there, and I guess a lot of us are going to hang out because apparently a lot of you are from New York, which is I don't know why that is. Is it because the population is so dense there that the chances of somebody watching me from New York is high? I guess there's a lot of you from New York. Like, let me know if you're from New York, because it's a lot of you. Like, it's shocking. I'm like, huh? Let me see. I'm trying to find the message. Not the message. Not the message. What am I saying? I'm trying to find the. Yeah, I'm trying to find the, let me see, the comments. So many of you, I don't have a New York accent. I don't think so. That's weird. If you, maybe, I guess. I have, if I had been listening to your videos before I bought APLD, I wouldn't be behind on it like I am. I bought it way too early. By the way, are you from New York or around here? And I'm like, no. Why do people, I don't know why people think I'm from New York. Midwest, but I've noticed a lot of New Yorkers watch my videos, which is interesting. Oh, I thought you was in Northeast because the accent. I don't think I have an accent, but I guess maybe. Maybe I'm friends with too many people who were from New York. I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm from SoCal. I've driven truck all through Midwest and New York many times though. But yeah. So shout out to New York because a lot of people are watching from over there. Interestingly enough. Alright guys, that's it for the video. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Learn from other people's mistakes. You improve many ways. One, by learning from your own mistakes, but also looking at others and being like, nah, I'm not going to do that because clearly I miss out on a lot of gains because I would have to wait for it to come back up to my average. So wait for that purple line. Wait until after earnings. Be patient. Be disciplined. It literally is common sense. It's just, I guess people don't have it nowadays, or they just, I don't know. I don't get it. But, ooh, Rich Tech is going to come down nice and cheap. I'm going to be buying that one under 2. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.